Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. In this lesson I'm gonna show you how to solve any matrix in 3 easy steps. So let's get started. The first step is we have to create a pivot of 1 and eliminate all of the numbers below. So when we take a look at this matrix, we need to create, in the first column, we need to create a pivot number as 1. And then we gotta eliminate all of the other numbers below. We have to turn them into zeros. The second step is find the next pivot and repeat step 1. Basically, we have to take a look at the next column. We have to make the pivot number as 1, and then we have to eliminate the number below. So we do that for the second column, we do that for the third column. If there is 4 or 5 or 6 or any number of columns, we do it for all of them. And the third step is we solve for the variables. So once we're done with the pivot numbers and once we eliminated all of the numbers below, we have to solve for the variables. In that case, we have two options. We either use a back substitution to solve for x, y, z, or we work upward and we transform the matrix into the reduced row echelon form. And the fourth step, it's an optional step. You can verify your solution to see if you solved the matrix correctly. If it's an exam or a test and you're doubting yourself and you have time, it's a good idea to verify. I'm going to show you how to do that at the end of the video as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the first matrix. This is our system of equations. First, what we have to do is we have to transform this system into augmented matrix. Okay, so let's start with the step 1. The step 1 says that we have to find the pivot number in the first column and we have to transform it. We have to make it 1. So let's do that. So for that we have to divide row 1 by 4. Awesome. So our pivot number is 1. And now let's transform all of the numbers below into 0. So we're just gonna subtract row 1 from row 2 and row 3. Well, in the case of row 2, we actually have to add row 1. Okay, so we'll eliminated all of the numbers below the first pivot number. The next step would be to do the same for column 2 and column 3. So first we're gonna make the pivot number as 1 in column 2. And now we're gonna eliminate this 1 over 2. Perfect. And the next step would be making this minus 6 over 7 as 1 as well. So we're just gonna multiply it by negative 7 over 6. Perfect. So from now on you have two options. You can either solve it for x, y, z, or you can transform the matrix into reduced echelon form. I'm gonna show you two options and then you just decide what you want to do. Decide depending on the task. Maybe you're asked to transform the matrix into reduced row echelon form. Okay, so right now we're just gonna solve it for x, y, z. In this case, our z will be minus negative 1. Okay, so this is our y. And now let's solve it for x. Perfect, and now let's just write the solution. Great. Now I'm gonna show you how to transform the matrix into the reduced echelon form. So again, this is the first option, right? You can just solve it for x, y, z, and now I'm gonna show you the uh, second way you can solve the matrix. Okay, to transform the matrix into the reduced echelon form, we have to eliminate all of the numbers above and below. Because we already eliminated all of the numbers below the pivot, below the pivots, now we have to do the same for all of the numbers above. So we're gonna start with the third column. I'll just write it here. Perfect, and now let's eliminate this number. Perfect, and this will be our solution. So as you guys remember, this is column X, this is column Y, and this is column Z, and we're just gonna write our solution. Perfect, and this is it. Now let me show you how we can check if we got the right answers. Because it's very easy to make a mistake when there are so many steps to solve the matrix. So you gotta be sure you got the right results on the exam. Okay, so for that we have to take our solutions, we have to plug them in every equation. So we're gonna start with with the first equation. Awesome, so this one is correct, 10 equals 10. Now let's do the same for the second equation. Perfect, 3 equals 3, so this one works too. And now let's do the last equation. Oops, it should be 78. Awesome, and this one is correct too, which means we got the right answers. Guys, you can use this step if you feel unsure about your results. Sometimes it's better to double check, right? If it's an exam, if it's a test, again, it's better to be sure if you need to get a good grade. Yeah, do this. Very easy. Sometimes it might be a little bit time consuming, but if you have some spare time, do that. Awesome, let's take a look at another matrix. Okay, as we can see, the pivot number is 1 already, so we don't have to do anything with this. The next step would be eliminating all of the numbers below. Perfect, now let's make this pivot number 1 equal to 1. And now we're going to eliminate all of the numbers below the pivot number. Perfect, and so we already transformed the matrix into echelon form. We're also going to transform it into reduced echelon form. So for that, we just have to eliminate the numbers above the pivot numbers. Okay, so this is our solution. Perfect. Now let's check if we got the right results. We're just gonna take these numbers and we're gonna plug them in these equations. Yeah, so this one is correct. This one is good too. Okay, seems like we got the right results. Yeah, if you guys stick with these 3 steps, you can solve any matrix. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel, press a like, and I'll see you in the next lesson.